My best friend married my fiancé. I caught them at their secret traditional wedding. Picture this, you're scrolling through Instagram on a quiet Sunday morning, and suddenly, you see your man. In full traditional attire. Standing next to your childhood best friend. And she's wearing a bride's wrapper and blouse. They just got married. And nobody told you. My name is Tina. I'm 32 years old, and I live here in Abuja, Nigeria. 1 week ago, on February 18th, my entire world collapsed when I discovered that my best friend of over 20 years, the girl I grew up with, the one I trusted with everything, had secretly married my fiancé. Welcome back to NK's Tales. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Your support truly encourages me to continue sharing these powerful tales with you. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from. The worst part. She's 4 months pregnant. With his baby. But here's what's eating me alive right now. I saw the signs. Every single one. From Asokoro to Woods, from Joby Lake to Millennium Park, everywhere we went together, the red flags were waving. And I ignored them all because I thought, not my bestie. Not my person. This is the story of the ultimate betrayal. This is what happens when you trust the wrong people. And by the time this video ends, you'll understand why your inner voice, that gut feeling, is the most important thing you have. Stay with me, because what happened to me can happen to anyone. And I mean anyone. Before we go deep into this story, if you've ever been betrayed by someone you trusted, a friend, a family member, a partner, smash that like button right now. Let's create a community of survivors who refuse to suffer in silence. And hit subscribe, because on this channel, we share real stories about real people facing real pain. These are the stories nobody wants to talk about, but everybody needs to hear. Let's go. Let me take you back to where this nightmare started. Back to when I thought I was living my best life in Abuja. My best friend and I, we go way back. I'm talking about primary school days in just before both our families relocated to Abuja. We went through secondary school together at LA. We experienced NYSC together. Every stage of life, she was there. When my father died, she slept at my house for 2 weeks straight. When she lost her job, I gave her money from my own savings to start her business. She wasn't just my friend. In this Lagos Abuja hustle where everybody is fake, she was the real one. My sister from another mother. My day one. My ride or die. Then I met him at a wedding in Metoma 3 years ago. Fine boy, well-spoken, had his own logistics business. We started dating, and it was beautiful. For the first time in my life, I thought I'd found someone who truly loved me. After we'd been together for about 6 months, I did what any woman would do. I introduced him to my best friend. These were the 2 most important people in my life. I wanted them to get along. I wanted my world to be complete. And oh, they got along alright. Too well. We became the perfect trio. Every weekend, we were somewhere. Saturday at Joby Lake Mall, Sunday at Transcorp Hilton for brunch, Friday night at Newly Juice or Zuma Grill. My best friend would take pictures of all 3 of us and post on Instagram with captions like, "My favorite humans," and 3 is not a crowd when it's real love. Anytime my fiancé and I had small quarrel, you know how relationship can be, my bestie would settle us. She'd call him and say, "Brothers, you know Tina loves you. Just apologize." She'd call me and say, "Babe, he didn't mean it like that. You know men." She was like a relationship therapist. People used to see us and say, "This is friendship goals. This is couple goals." I thought God had blessed me well. A man who wanted to marry me. A best friend who had my back 100%. What more could I ask for in this Abuja where everybody is doing shakara and farming? But you see, the devil is a liar. Looking back now, with the eyes of pain and betrayal, I can see exactly when things started to change. The signs were there, bright and clear like the sun over Oso Rock. It started small. Very small. Anytime we sat together at a restaurant, my bestie would sit just a little too close to him. When she laughed, she'd touch his arm. One time at Nuli Juice, I noticed her hand stayed on his shoulder for too long, but she quickly said, "Oh, I was just removing a thread from his shirt." She'd send him WhatsApp messages separately from our group chat. When I asked her about it, she'd say, "Oh, I was just asking him what you'd like for your birthday," or "I was coordinating a surprise for you." And then came the one thing that should have opened my eyes wide. Anytime my fiancé wanted to take me out, just the two of us, like a proper couple, if my bestie said she couldn't come, he would cancel. Every single time. One Saturday evening, he called to say we should go to Nkoyo for dinner. I was already dressing up, excited for our date. Then he called my bestie, and she said she was busy with her cousin who was visiting from Port Harcourt. Immediately, my fiancé called me back. "Babe, let's just stay home today. I'm tired." This happened again and again. I started noticing the pattern. Finally, one day I confronted him in his car outside my house in Kubwa. "Why do you always cancel our plans when she can't come?" You know what he said? He looked at me very seriously and said, "Your bestie is the life of every gathering. I just like her spirit, you understand. She has a way of making everywhere lively with good vibes. There's nothing else. You know I love only you. There's nothing else." Those 3 words should have been my alarm bell. But no. I was so desperate to believe in the people I loved that I swallowed my doubt like bitter leaf soup and told myself, "Tina, stop overthinking. Stop being insecure. You're just being paranoid." Have you ever done that? Ignored your gut feeling because accepting the truth would scatter everything you believed in. That's where I was. Drop a comment if you've been in this situation. Let me know I'm not alone. Then came the proposal. Just last month. My fiancé took me to Millennium Park on a beautiful Saturday evening. There were roses everywhere, candles, and a small live band playing my favorite songs. It was like an Hollywood movie. He went on one knee, brought out the ring, and asked me to marry him. I cried. I said yes. I was the happiest woman in the world that day. And guess who was there, hiding behind a tree, taking pictures and videos? My best friend. She ran out screaming, "OMG. OMG. My people are getting married." She hugged both of us, crying real tears. She looked me in my eyes and said, "Tina, you two are perfect together. This is God's doing." I posted the pictures on Instagram that night. The congratulations were rolling in. Family, friends, colleagues from my office in Central area, everybody was happy for me. I thought I had finally won in life. After all the heartbreak, after all the situationships with Lagos boys who just wanted to chop and clean mouth, I had found my person. And my best friend was there to witness it all. That night, after the small engagement party at my fiancé's house in Lugbe, everyone left. It was just the two of us. We were celebrating, being intimate, enjoying each other, and then it happened. The thing that should have made me pack my things and run. In the heat of the moment, while we were making love, he called out her name. My best friend's name. Clear. Loud. No mistake. I froze like ice block in the freezer. My heart stopped beating. Everything went silent. "What did you just say?" I asked him, pulling away, looking at him like I'd seen a ghost. He looked confused at first, like somebody who just woke up from sleep. Then he realized what he'd done. And you know what this man did? He laughed. He actually laughed. Oh, babe, killed. Why are you looking at me like that?" "It's because the 3 of us are always together now." It was just a slip of the tongue. Don't read meaning into it. You know I love you. Don't read meaning into it. But how? How can your fiancé call another woman's name while he's on top of you, and you should just act like everything is normal? I couldn't sleep that night. I tossed and turned in his bed, my mind racing. The next morning, I went straight to the source. I called my bestie and told her to meet me at the Joby Lake Mall. We sat at the food court, drinking smoothies, and I looked her dead in the eye. Bestie, I need you to be honest with me. Do you have anything going on with my man? Her face changed. She looked shocked, wounded, like I just slapped her across the face. Tina, how can you even ask me that? After everything we've been through? After all these years? Never. How can you think such a thing about me? Has he ever toasted you? Made any move? Said anything? Tina. She raised her voice small, and people looked at us. He loves you. You're my best friend. I can never do that to you. Never in this life or the next. I'm disappointed you even asked. She looked so hurt. So genuine. Tears even started forming in her eyes. I felt like the worst person in the world for doubting her. So right there at Joby Lake Mall, with people walking around us with shopping bags, I made a decision. I decided to stop overthinking. I decided to trust both of them. I decided that love would conquer all. If you're watching this right now and you've ever ignored red flags in a relationship, whether it's romance or friendship, drop your story in the comments. Sometimes we need to hear that we are not alone in our pain. And if this story is speaking to your soul right now, share it with someone who needs to hear it. You might just save them from the heartbreak I'm going through. That decision to trust them was the biggest mistake of my entire 32 years on this earth. Because what happened next changed my life forever. Last week Thursday. That was the day everything scattered. The three of us went to Nkoyo restaurant in Wustu for dinner. We were supposed to be planning the wedding. My fiancé had just said we should do the traditional marriage in June and white wedding in December. My bestie was giving ideas about colors and decorations. Everything seemed perfect. We ordered food and drinks. The waiter brought our chapman and small chops. Just as he was opening the drinks, my phone rang. Unknown number. I excused myself and stepped outside the restaurant to answer. It was one useless MTN marketing call about data bundle. I caught the call and came back inside. I was gone for maybe 3 minutes maximum. When I got back to our table, I noticed something immediately. My drink was already open. The bottle cap was off. I sat down and looked at the drink, then at them. Why is my drink open already? My fiancé answered quickly, too quickly. The waiter said he was in a hurry. He had to collect the opener and go back to the kitchen. So we told him to open it for you. My bestie nodded, smiling. Yes now. He couldn't wait. No wala no. But something in my bell just turned. That same instinct I'd been ignoring for months suddenly woke up like a giant. My spirit just said, Tina, no. I don't know what came over me that day. Maybe it was God. Maybe it was my late father watching over me from heaven. But I knew I couldn't drink that drink. Excuse me, waiter, I called out. Please bring me a fresh chapman. A new bottle. The whole table went silent. You could hear pin drop. When the waiter brought the new drink, I opened it myself, right there in front of everybody. I opened it with my own hands and poured it into a fresh glass. My fiancé's face changed completely. From the loving man I knew to someone I didn't recognize. His eyes were dark, angry. Tina, what is the meaning of what you just did? His voice was low but sharp like razor blade. You have embarrassed me in front of all these people. You're acting like we want to poison you. Is that what you think of me? Of us? I'm sorry, I said quickly, trying to calm the situation. I didn't mean to embarrass anybody. I just wanted a fresh drink. But the damage was done. The rest of the dinner was like a funeral. Nobody was talking. My bestie was just pressing her phone. My fiancé kept looking at me with disgust. I was supposed to sleep at his place in Lugbe that night. We'd already planned it. But as we were driving from Wustu, he suddenly said he would drop me at my house in Kabwa. Normally, when he dropped me off, he'd park well in front of my house. He'd come inside, we'd gizmo, maybe watch Netflix, say proper goodnight. But that night, this man stopped the car at the junction, near the main road. I need to drop your bestie too, he said without looking at me. My heart sank into my stomach. I wanted to argue, to ask questions, but something told me to just get out of that car. I took my bag and got out. I watched as they drove off together. You know that feeling when you know something terrible is about to happen but there's nothing you can do to stop it. That's where I was. My whole body was shaking. I couldn't even cry. I just stood there at that junction, watching their car disappear. By the time I got inside my house, it was around 10:30 p.m. I was trying to process everything, trying to understand what I'd done wrong. Then at 11:04 p.m., I will never forget the time, my phone beeped with a WhatsApp message from him. Tina, this relationship will not work. You see me as someone who can poison you. You don't trust me. There's no point marrying someone who doesn't trust you. It's over. I'm done. I read that message 7 times. 7 times. My hands were shaking so much I almost dropped my phone. He was breaking up with me because I didn't drink a drink that someone else had opened. And then I remembered something. About 4 months ago, I had arrived at his house with drinks for his friends who were visiting. I opened his own drink while bringing it from the kitchen. When I gave it to him in front of his friends, he rejected it. He said he couldn't drink something that was already open in front of his people. He said it would look somehow. But now, when I did the same thing, I was the problem. I immediately called my bestie. My hands were shaking as I dialed her number. I was crying, desperate, confused. She was the only person I could talk to. Or so I thought. She picked on the 3rd ring. But her voice, it wasn't the soft, caring voice I knew. It was cold. Sharp. Different. Hello, she said, like she was talking to a stranger. Bestie, he just broke up with me, I said, my voice cracking. He sent me a message saying it's over. Because of the drink. Because I didn't trust him. What should I do? There was silence for a moment. Then she spoke, and what she said scattered my remaining sense. Tina, why did you order another drink? Why did you embarrass him like that? What were you thinking? I couldn't believe my ears. What do you mean? You ruined everything with your paranoia and insecurity. You've been acting strange for weeks now. Always suspicious, always doubting. Maybe he's right. Maybe you're not ready for marriage. Bestie, I have to go. And she cut the call. Just like that. Cut the call on me. Within 5 minutes, both of them blocked me on WhatsApp. Blocked me on Instagram. Blocked me on every platform. My fiancé of 3 years. My bestie of over 20 years. Gone. Vanished. Like I never existed. I cried that whole night. I didn't sleep. I kept asking myself, what did I do wrong? Am I crazy? Am I too suspicious? Did I destroy my own happiness? But then Sunday morning came. February 18th, 2024. The day my life changed forever. I woke up around 7 a.m. to my phone buzzing non-stop. Messages. Calls. Even my younger sister was calling. My cousin from Enugu was calling. Old secondary school classmates I hadn't spoken to in years were sending me messages. Tina, is this true? Tina, I just saw something online. Tina, please call me ASAP. I opened my Instagram with shaking hands. And there it was. Posted by my fiancé's cousin. Posted by my bestie sister. Posted by people who attended. Wedding photos. Traditional marriage photos. My best friend, dressed in a beautiful Kora Osok, full beads on her neck, traditional bride makeup. Standing next to my fiancé in navy blue agbada. They were holding hands. Smiling. In front of family members I recognized. At a venue that looked like it was somewhere in Asakoro. The caption on one post said, "Congratulations to the beautiful couple. #forever begins, #Abuja wedding, #traditional marriage." I scrolled through picture after picture. Them cutting cake. Them dancing. Them spraying money. Them kissing for the camera. And then I saw a comment under one of the posts. From someone who attended. It said, "We are so happy for them. And we can't wait for the baby." The baby. My best friend is pregnant for my fiancé. Let that sink in deep. While I was planning my wedding, while I was showing her my ring, while I was discussing my future, she was already carrying his baby. They were already planning their future. They used me. They fooled me. They made me look like the biggest mumu in Abuja. How long had this been going on? 6 months. A year. The whole 3 years. How many times did they laugh at me behind my back? How many times did they sleep together in his house in Lugbe while I was at work? How many lies did they tell me with straight faces? That drink that night at Nkoyo. I don't know what was in it. Maybe nothing. Maybe something that would harm me or harm a potential pregnancy. I'll never know the truth. But my God knew. God spoke to my spirit and said, "Don't drink it." If I had drunk it, if I had married him, I would have walked into a traditional hall to marry a man who already had a child with my so-called best friend. Right now, as I'm telling you this story, my heart is broken into a million pieces. I'm devastated. I'm depressed. Some days I don't even want to leave my house in Kabwa. I look at every friend differently now. I question every relationship. But I'm sharing this story with you today for a reason. A very important reason. Listen to me very carefully. Say no to your friends constantly hanging out with your partner. I repeat, say no. Boundaries are not wickedness. Boundaries are wisdom. Your relationship needs space to breathe, space to grow, space that belongs to just the two of you. No friend should be a permanent third wheel in your relationship. No friend should be so involved that your man can't take you out without them. If your partner needs your friend around to spend time with you, that is a red flag the size of Oso Rock itself. And the most important lesson, if your gut is telling you something is wrong, listen to it. Stop calling yourself paranoid. Stop letting people gaslight you. That inner voice. That instinct. That's God talking to you. That's your ancestors protecting you. Listen. I ignored every single red flag because I wanted to believe in love and friendship. And I paid the ultimate price. If this story touched your soul, I need you to do 4 things right now. Number 1, smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications because we're building a community of survivors who refuse to be silent. Number 2, share this video with every single woman and man in your life who needs to hear this message. You might just save someone's life. Number 3, drop a comment with the words, "I trust my gut," so I know you received this message. And number 4, hit that like button so YouTube can show this story to more people who need it. To everyone watching this who has been betrayed, who has had their trust shattered, who is picking up the pieces of a broken heart, you are not alone. We are survivors. We will heal. We will rise again. And we will never let anyone dim our light again. My name is Tina. I'm 32 years old. I live in Abuja, Nigeria. And this is my story of betrayal, survival, and the power of trusting your instincts. God bless you all. Stay strong. And always, always trust your gut.